Oh boy. Hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I had a little stuff going on. Just wanted to set everything up, make sure everything's good. So let's get her into it. So the point of this video is not to be like anything too strange. Well, it might be strange to you because some of this stuff might be kind of weird. Well, let me just close it. I should have done this before, but it was my bad. But let's get into it. So I want to just explain in detail about this entire sort of project because I haven't really talked about it. I know this is a you're probably here thinking, oh, he's gonna do something with ROM hacking. No, not right now. Maybe in a little bit we can get into that. But right now, let's just get into this because this is a lot of stuff. Let me see how many lines it is. Just this one piece of code. 2004 lines. I'm not going to go over every single line and talk about it. I'll go and explain a chunk of it if I have to. So let's start from the beginning. So if you're not a programmer, this is what you're going to need first. These are imports. When you're working on a project, you're going to have to import some packages because not everything's going to be in one thing. So I had to import a lot of stuff. Specifically IO files because I have a couple files in here that I like to call. SQL using it calls the MySQL database. You got the application. This is meant for more of the main Java FX part, and most of this is just literally Java FX stuff. So that's pretty fun. Let's get into the main course, sort of. Not really the main course, but sort of talking about the main class, which I just simply called main. This is the main program, so I called it main, which extends application. This is how the application is going to call everything. Next is the ints. There are a lot of integers here. What I did to make things easier for myself, I have this. Yesterday, I commented the hell out of this thing. So, explanation of each one. Pokemon ID, easy. ID of the Pokemon relates to the national dex order. Catch rate applies. It's just catch rate of the Pokemon, the chance of how easy is to catch. Lower it is, the harder it is to catch. Higher it is, easier to catch. Lowest is 0. The max is 255. Base EXP yield. Each Pokemon has a experience value that they have. The lower this value is, the less experience they'll give you. The more experience they'll give you, the more it will give you, obviously. Egg cycles, pretty much your egg steps. The base egg steps, like for Pokemon breeding, you take a step, it lessens the amount of time it takes to hatch an egg. The more steps it is, obviously, the longer it's going to take for it to hatch. Base friendship, pretty much the friendship, the happiness of your Pokemon. 0, it hates you. 255 the max, it loves you, essentially. And level up type. Going back to the base experience yield, every Pokemon has a certain amount of experience they can get. So some Pokemon can easily be raised to level 100, but others will take a long time. So, yeah, that's essentially what this does. Ability ID, the idea of the move, which of the ID of the ability. Geez, I'm looking at move ID ahead. Now, the way I did it is using the database, which I'll show you in a little bit. It's actually in game order. I actually used Bulbapedia as a reference, and I kind of went through every ability through game order. Move ID, same thing as abilities, but the thing is that G-Max moves are separated because I used Bulbapedia as a reference. Everything else is in order, and G-Max are at the end of the list. And move power points, the move PP, amount of chances you can use that move. Move base power, the base power of the move, and the higher it is, the more damage it'll do. The lower it is, less damage it'll do. And this sometimes doesn't even have a value because some power has to be calculated in different ways. For example, low kick calculates your weight rather than just be a set base power. Move accuracy, some moves, the higher it is, the better chance of hitting. Max of 100. Lower it is, the less chance of it hitting. And the thing is, sometimes moves don't have an accuracy because sometimes they can't miss. They can never miss unless you're under some semi-invulnerable turn like dig or a dive. Speed priority of the move. Moves can have a priority. If it's below 0, it has a potential of going last, but if it's above 0, it has a potential of going first. However, if it's 0, it calculates the Pokemon's speed rather than their priority. And Pokemon level, every Pokemon has some form of level. The max of 100, the lowest of 1, cannot be higher or lower than each of the values. And that's your int values, pretty simple stuff. Then you get the strings. These are a little bit more complicated. Pokemon name of the Pokemon, EV yield. Some Pokemon have something called effort values, and when you defeat a Pokemon, you gain effort values for your HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. So it's calculated through here. Gender ratio, every Pokemon has either a male, a female, or a genderless gender. This determines what the gender of the Pokemon you will run into will have. Hidden ability, Pokemon can have 3 abilities, the third one being a hidden ability, and hidden abilities can be very difficult to gain. That's what a hidden ability, that's what the string does. Pokemon color, color of the Pokemon, that's essentially what it is, just a color Pokemon. Some might be a little bit strange. For example, if you look at the Pokemon Bronzong, you assume it's blue. It's actually green, which is very strange. So, some might be correct, some might be off. Pokemon class. The classification of Pokemon, determining its traits, what it's based on, I guess, in terms of real life. For example, I think, I'm going to try to start top of my head. Mudkip's based off of an African lungfish, I think. That's an example of it, that kind of thing. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, that's what the classification does. Pokemon biology pretty much explains every single portion of what the Pokemon looks like and explains what they do in the wild. Trivia is just talking about certain facts about a Pokemon. For example, I didn't know this until I started doing this project. Tyranitar has the lowest base speed of all of the pseudo-legendary Pokemon, which is kind of interesting. Pokemon Origins is pretty much talking about what's Pokemon based off of in real life. Some can have just one simple explanation, others can have sort of theories and kind of explanations of what it could potentially be. Pokemon name origin. What's the name based off of, essentially? Pokemon evolution. Now, this one's kind of iffy. This one not just explains the Pokemon, like what it evolves into. For example, Bulbasaur evolves at level 16 into Ivysaur. Some can just talk about form changes. For example, Deoxys, it doesn't evolve, but it has three other forms: attack, defense, and speed. So that's where that would be stored as well. Pokemon ability name, obviously name of the ability. The next two are going to be kind of interesting. Yeah, ability short description and ability in-depth description. The short description is essentially the one ability, the ability description grabbed straight from the games, while the in-depth description is a little bit more in-depth look at what it does. And yeah, that's essentially what it does. It just talks about it in a better aspect. Like for example, let's say you have Blaze. Okay, well, it boosts your fire type moves once you hit a certain amount of HP. You want to get more explained. Blaze boosts your fighting fire moves by 1.3 times when your HP is at 33% or lower. I think that's what it is. I'm not too sure. Move name of the move, kind of easy. Move type. Every move has a type. Normal to fairy, about 18 types, I believe. That's where this will be stored. Move category. Moves have a certain category that influences the Pokemon's defense, special defense. Physical would attack the Pokemon's physical defense. Special would attack the Pokemon's special defense. While status just doesn't do any damage at all. It could do damage depending on what move it is, but it essentially just does some form of thing that could influence your stats, could influence other things as well, give you a status condition, things like that. Then you got the same thing, move short description and move in-depth description, pretty much the same way as abilities. Move short description kind of just describes, hey, this is, the description from the games. I'll admit this one was kind of hard because sometimes I was going to move and it wasn't in Sword and Shield, so I had to go back a generation to talk about that kind of stuff. Move in-depth description. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's sort of a in-depth / secondary effect description. Yeah, it talks about the move, but it kind of just goes straight to the point. Like for example, it talks about like Fire Punch. It won't talk about it does damage. It'll just say it does 10%. It has a 10% chance to burn, which is fine. And Pokemon Nature, this is used for my thing later that I'll talk about, where a Pokemon's nature, it can be influenced. It can influence their stats. For example, Timid boosts your speed by 10%, while it lowers your attack by 10%. That's your strings there. There might be some later. And then you got these little things here. You're probably wondering, what the heck is this? Pokemon name storage, ability name storage. Pokemon name storage is used for Pokemon names loop, where it temporarily stores Pokemon name from the database. Same goes for abilities. It's temporary. It's pretty much these three are going to be used to fill in the names later in the combo boxes, little lists that I have. That's essentially what this does. And the thing below it, a public string Pokemon name ID. Name ID of Pokemon used to call cries and sprites. Yeah, essentially what happens is that I have everything loaded in here. I can show you right now. For example, talks about cries. Yeah, this is all the stuff that I have here. All this stuff is linked to a name. And someone actually gave me an idea of, why don't you use numbers? This is more meant for people who are just like, maybe I need something. I'd rather just have the name of it. That way I know, this is Obama's now. Because off the top of my head, I don't know the Pokédex number of Magazone. I think it's like 463, but a regular casual's not going to know that. So that's why I put names instead of the sprites. And names instead of the numbers. Then you got these arrays here. Int base stats. Pretty much where these stats will be. So I'd rather do an array than variables because, I don't know, it just makes me feel better. And it also helps in the end because I think towards the end of my little tool that's in one of the parts of the project, it kind of helps with a loop. So base stats, each one is held with a base stat. Like for example, this one is base hit points, base attack, base events, base special attack, base special defense, and base speed. Real stats is used for my project at the end, the last part of it, where it's the calculated stat once it's done doing its thing. EVs and IVs. This is where your EV is going to be stored. For when a user inputs a certain amount of effort values. For effort values, you can input a value between 0 and 252. You can put 0 and 252. It's fine, but nothing lower or higher than that. And there's checks to make sure you don't go above 510. I did think 508, but 510 is sort of how the core does it, so I just said screw it, just leave it. IVs are the same thing, but instead of 0 to 252, it's 0 to 31, and every value could be 31 if you want, but nothing higher or lower than what I said before. And then you got 2 rays here, types and abilities. Each Pokemon can have a type or can have 2 types. Never no types. There's no such thing. And abilities the same way, but there's 3 hidden abilities used for later. If a user can have 1 type, user can have 2 types, user can have 3 abilities, sorry. User can have 1 to 3 abilities, never nothing. No more than that. And we got egg group. Why do I have them 2 separate? Yeah, I'll fix that later. Egg groups, Pokemon, like for example, when I talk about the egg steps, Pokemon can breed, but it always depends what egg group they're in. They can never breed with a Pokemon that has a different egg group. Pokemon can have 1 to 2 egg groups, can never have none, essentially. And then you got the Pokemon height and weight here. I use a double value instead of an int because some values can be a decimal as well. And this is actually cool. I was going to talk about it later, but I'll talk about it now. I made a little equation where it converts it from whatever I put in. For example, height is actually meters. I convert it to feet and inches, which is really easy. And weight the same way. Obviously, I had to do some casting to make sure it didn't leave decimals, so that was also really fun. Then you got the Booleans here. Has female form, has other forms. Has female form, some Pokemon... Oh. I'll be right back. Oh, boy. You got it? Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, someone's cooking and it caused the fire alarm to go off. So that sounds about right. Back into it. So we got has female form and has other forms. Some Pokemon can have different female variations. So for example, a good example. Jellicent's a great example. Jellicent and Filish have a male and female, completely different, so that would count. It doesn't change anything in their stats, it just changes their gender. Now, has other forms, is a little bit different. Check see if Pokemon has other different forms or forms. For example, that example I said about Deoxys, he has 4 forms: normal, attack, defense, speed. That's essentially what it does. It checks to see that. And it also checks to see if Pokemon has like a Mega or Gigantamax, things like that. Then you got font. This is something you don't really talk about. Changes the font to being bold. It's more for like titles and stuff. The array list. This one's I'm going to leave for now. What the Pokemon can learn. I don't know if I have the time for this. Because I tried a couple moves the other day. It's a fucking bitch. So I didn't even bother with it. So instead I have it as it's a dex, a move dex, ability dex. Makes it easier for me. Then you got observable lists. Remember how I said here where it says, storage. Essentially what happens is that the moves are going to fill. All right, the loop that's going to be down here is going to fill these lists and then be added to the combo box where you can look at it. Save it here, here, and here. This one's pretty simple. Nature's list, where all the natures are going to be from Hardy all the way to Quirky. What's kind of cool is that when you go to the thing that I built, you don't even need to choose a nature because it only checks to see if you chose, like, let's say Brave, which boosts your attack, lowers your speed, things like that. Then you got the number of Pokemon, the final. This is not the number of Pokemon. There's no such thing as 1,241 Pokemon. Let's give it a year, though. I'll give it a few more years, and we'll probably reach that number. But this is meant for the Pokemon amount of. Actually, no, I'm going to show you now. Hold on. As I keep saying, I'm going to show you this now. Just wait for it to load. It's for this. It's from Bulbasaur all the way to this one. This is Eternamax Eternatus. So just a number of Pokemon forms, I guess you can call it. That's essentially what it does. And it's used for later. And current index is used for that same thing later. Used for the Pokemon Cries loop. I'll explain that in a little bit. Now these are pretty interesting. What you're seeing. So you got lists. These are going to be used for the other forms list. I'm not too sure if this is the most efficient way. I'm still kind of new to this kind of stuff. Well, not new, but I'm still kind of learning this stuff. So you got the Megas list, right for Mega Pokemon. Charizard list, I just called it because it's the only one that can have a Mega, 2 Megas, and a Gigantamax. Then these are for Pokemon who have a Gigantamax form. For Alolan Pokemon, for Meowth who has a normal Goon Alolan, Alolan and Galarian, along with a Gigantamax. These are Pokemon who have just a Galarian form. Gengar is the only Pokemon that has a Mega and a Gigantamax. Mewtwo has 2 Megas but no Gigantamax. Unknown, all the letters. Castform, because of its different forms it can transform to when it does use its forecast. Primal, mostly for Kyogre and Groudon. I just called it Primal because God only knows if when Diamond and Pearl remakes come out, we're going to get a Primal Dialga, which will be sick. You got Deoxys because it got the 4 forms like I talked about before. Plant, Sandy, and Trash for Wormy Wormadam because it got the 3 different forms. Cherrim because it can go from overcast to sunshine when it's sunny. Shellos and Gastrodon because they have the 2 different forms depending on where you are in the region. Rotom because it can go into these forms, these devices. Heat for oven, wash for washing machine, frost refrigerator, fan for a fan, and mow for a lawnmower. Giratina because it can go from the altered form and then the origin form depending if it has the Grisly Sorb or not. Shaman, obviously if it used this Greasius, it would be a sky form. And I put together Arceus and Silphley because they're essentially the same lists, depending on what plate they have, or in terms of Silphley and memory, depending on what type they are. Then you got, let me close this, make it a little easier. There we go. Basculin, because it has 2 different forms, the red striped and the blue striped. Darmanitan, because it's got the standard form, its Zen mode, its Galarian form, and its Galarian Zen mode, which, by the way, I think do not have, I should hunt for, though. Deerling and Swazbuck have different forms because they have their different seasons, from spring, autumn, summer, and winter. Therian list is for the Force of Nature, Thundurus, Landorus, and Tornadus, because they can be incarnate or Therian. Kyurem form, because it can fuse with Reshiram or Zekrom, and it can be either normal, white, or black. Keldeo, it's got its ordinary form, but when it has Secret Sword, it becomes the Resolute form. Meloetta list, depending if it used Relic Song, it would go from Aria to its Pirouette form. Genesect, because it depends on what drive it has. This doesn't really change anything, it just changes the drive on its back. However, it depends on the type. It changes the type of Technoblast, its signature move, I think, right? I think. Greninja, because it's got a normal form, but when it kills someone with anything, it transforms. If it has the ability Battle Bond, it becomes an Ash Greninja. Vivillon, this one's kind of weird. Because I never really hunted for these guys. Vivillon's forms, depending on where it evolved to in a region, I guess. That's what it does. Not sure. The flowers, race for the different flower forms. This is meant for Flabebe, Floetti, and Gorflorgus. Because you can find in I think X and Y, you can hunt in a patch and it'll be a certain color depending on the color of the flowers. Furfrou list, depending on what you want to change your Furfrou's, I guess, coat to a certain, I guess, style. And then gender list, this is meant for Meowstic and Indeedee. I know there's a gender thing, but for Indeedee and Meowstic, they change. Meowstic not much, just a tiny bit, probably their moveset and their abilities. Well, Indeedee is a completely different change. That's why I called it the advanced gender forms. Aegislash has a shield and blade form depending if it's attacking or using King's Shield. Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist have different sizes. So they have average, large, super large, and small. Super has a different cry from everyone else. Xerneas, depending if it's on Battle Night, can go into active mode. Yeah, I don't really use Xerneas, so I don't really know much about that. Zygarde has 3 different forms. You got if you want to count them, I guess this sells in the course as well, but the ones that you actually use in battle are the 50%, 10%, and complete. Then you got 10 cells, 50% you got 50 cells, complete have 100 cells, it's complete, and it's a beast. Hoopa list, if you have the prison's bottle, it can become an unbound Hoopa. Where, yeah, that's where it goes. Oricorio, depending on what I think nectar you can give it to, become Bali, I guess Bali, Pom Pom, Pow, and Sensu. Sorry if I butchered those names, but that just counts for those forms. Lycanroc, depending on what day and I think game it's in, it'll evolve into one of these forms. Wishy-Washy, at level 20 and above, and it has the ability Schooling, it'll become its school form, which I actually do have competitively, and it's a really fun Pokemon to use. Meteor is an interesting Pokemon where, depending on, it has got a Meteor form, but also got the colors. A Meteor can be any color you want, essentially, and it's pretty cool. Mimikyu, once you hit a Mimikyu once, its disguise will be busted, quote unquote. It'll just tilt over. That's what the busted form is. Necrozma has 4 different forms. Its normal form, it's Dusk Mane, where it fuses with Solgaleo. Dawned Wings when it fuses with Lunala. And Ultra Necrozma when he used Ultra Boost, or Ultra Burst. Magearna, this is actually, I think it just got released. The original form of Magearna, I guess when it was created, because this is a man-made Pokemon. And I think it was just released with Pokemon Home. Cramorant has normal, gulping, and gorging. I think when Cramorant goes... Gen 8 I'm very kind of strange about, so we'll just get into it. So Cramorant, I think when it goes underwater, or does dive or something, or uses surf, it'll get a Arrokuda stuck in his throat, and if you hit it, it'll throw it back at you just for, I guess, for a payback damage. While gorging's a little different. Does the same thing, but instead it gets a Pikachu stuck in his throat, yeets it at you, and you get paralyzed. So that's pretty cool. Toxtricity has a different form depending on what nature it evolved from when it was a Toxel. But it also has a Gigantamax one that's going to bother me. And Alchemy was the one I wanted to hang myself doing. 60, I think it was 63 different forms, along with a Gigantamax form. And it depends on the time of day and direction you spin holding a certain suite. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Okay, Ice Cube. This one's pretty interesting. It has a normal and a no ice face. This Ice Cube has that giant block of ice on its head. I think it's funny. And if you hit it, I guess, with a physical move, it breaks. It's really funny. I like it. Morpeko, every other turn it switches forms. Actually, every turn it switches forms at the end of it. Goes from normal to its cute little yellow self to hangry where it looks fucking pissed. That's essentially what it is. Zacian and Zamazenta. This is the only list they have where they're normal on ground, depending on what they have. I think if you have Zacian hold the rusted sword or Zamazenta hold the rusted shield, they'll become their crown form, which actually makes them stronger. Probably, I think, a little bit slower, though. And last but not least, Eternatus is the special one. Not special in terms of being stupid, but special in terms of he has a form you can't access. But I added it anyways because it has data. Might as well just put it in for the fun of it. Whereas actually, I think the most powerful Pokemon in a sense, where because its base stats are over 4 digits, or above 4 digits. And then this is the first time ever doing this. This is a 2D array. I've never done a 2D array until I said, screw it, I need to find some way to load these in. So yeah, 2D array that stores all the forms. I don't know, like I said, this part I'm still kind of shaken about. I'm not too sure if it's going to load. I love how I'm circling the alchemy, but it's not really that bad. But it's whatever. Then you got this part. This part we kind of ignore. This is pretty much saying, hey, this is the program, fire it. And, it's whatever. And this is where the we call this the big chunk. All right, we call this what we call Jesus fucking Christ. This is where everything is going to be loaded into. And we're going to go from here and just do that. So, this whole part right here. This is how you connect to the database. So this loads the JDBC driver, which connects the database to everything. Then you got the device driver. This connects it to the database. Oh, here you go. Oh my god, I'm showing my password. Oh my goodness, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna connect this to this server. I'm gonna try. If I have time, I'll try and connect this to the cloud. And then this is gonna be deleted. Yeah, this probably be gone in the final product. It just says connect to the Pokemon database. Obviously didn't connect it, probably just crash, but you know what? I don't have that in. This part's used to write statements. Like for example, let's write one now. Let's say select from Pokemon where Pokemon name equals, I don't know, Hoppip. And it would do something like this. And there you go, there's Hoppip's data. that's essentially what a statement is. Then yeah, right here. So results set Pokemon names. Select Pokemon name from Pokemon limit 890. Statement that grabs all the Pokemon names. I don't want to go higher than 890 because it eventually would load in the forms, and I don't want to do that. While Pokemon names that next, meaning while Pokemon names just keeps on going, it fills this. Pokemon name storage equals Pokemon names dot get string. Essentially what that does is just fills in that part, takes data whatever is in column 1, which is Pokemon name, and puts it in the Pokemon name storage. Then it adds to Pokemon name storage and adds whatever it is, and then just keeps going until, I hit 890 or 891. Gotta stop, and I gotta get out of here. Ability names. Oh, sorry. That is me. Do I have the Discord on? I do. Sorry if you hear that. That's my bad. Just close that for a little bit. Actually, no, fuck it. I'll just leave it on because I'll need it later. Ability names. I select ability name from abilities order by ability ID. The reason why it says to order by is if I didn't, it wouldn't be in order and it would bother the shit out of me. So I wouldn't bother. Though it would be in alphabetical order, which is great, but I like it in an ID order. And the same thing with from Pokemon names to ability names. Just stores everything with the name storage. And adds to the ability names list. And then it keeps going until it runs into at the end. And then finally, move names. Select move name from moves order by Pokemon moves ID. But move ID does the same thing, fills in the move lanes list until it runs into the final move, which is, I think, G-Max Sentiferno. Now, this is where things get a little bit complicated. Oh, no. My phone. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Media player array. Cry player. New media player number Pokemon. So if we go back up, if you remember... Oh, let's just do this. To here. That's how everything's going to be loaded. So it's 1,241 names. 41 slots. But for an array, it's from 0 to 204, or to 1,240 instead. Array that says Pokemon, so it goes from 0 to, it says right here, 1,240. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting. Select Pokemon cries equals statement.execute query. This is going to be where everything's going to fire. This is that's how I'm going to get all the name IDs. Because like I showed you before, that's how these are supposed to load. Now, I'm saying supposed to because this is where the problem comes in. These are supposed to load. I'll show you later. They do work, but I think after a certain point, it just says, nah, I'm good, and just kind of doesn't work anymore. So I'm probably going to need to work on that. So while Pokemon cries next, it takes Pokemon name ID, cries.getString, which is the column 1, which would be Pokemon name ID. Takes the orders in column 1, puts in the name ID. So the cry player talks about the current and grabs the current index, which right now, if we go back to somewhere around here, in current index, right now it's set to 0. So I'm like, okay, great, whatever. So it takes the current index and it says new media player. The new media file, the new file is going to be src/cries/Pokemon name ID. So let's say, for example, it hits Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is going to take this spot. I believe that's how you do it. I'm not too sure. Fills the array slot with the cry Pokemon ID. And then increments current index. This is why it wasn't working for me for a while. Because I was wondering, why is it not working? It was, but it wasn't going up. So that was the problem. And then it resets Pokemon name ID back to default. Now comes the part where it gets a little bit strange. This is where how the UI is built. This is the V-Box. This is where everything's going to be kept into. The menu bar. I just want to let everyone know. When I was doing this, I barely learned what any of this stuff was. For example, I didn't know about menu bars. I didn't know about anchor panes. And I didn't know for sure about a tab pane. Because I was kind of trying to take my ideas from a little app on Pokédex. Not like take their ideas, but kind of get influenced by them. So that's where I got everything. So I got that V-Box. That's where everything's going to be held. Menu bar. It's a menu bar. It's this thing, essentially. And it's got file, help, and... The thing is that this part had to be added in because I got confused with the project, this capstone. I didn't know you had to store data into a database. There will be a login system added in later because I thought, okay, you just got to read stuff. Yeah, I was totally wrong. So this actually saved current page, it pretty much saves the Pokemon's where you're at and just saves it into your data. That way, when you open up again to read your stuff, says welcome back, yada yada, it's gonna fire and be like, oh, this guy has something saved. Let me go with that instead. Closes the program. That's essentially a close button. And documentation. Also, documents playing Pokemon. This one's kind of iffy. I might put like an asterisk around that because I'm not too sure if I'll have the time to make this. I might just take that off, make things easier. And this just adds those menu items to the menus up here, and then adds everything to the menu bar. Main anchor pane. This is where everything's going to be added into. That's where once at the end, everything adds in and sort of loads. Tab pane, wherever all your tabs are held. First tab's going to be a Pokedex tab, where I'm going to add a Pokedex anchor to add all this stuff that we're going to read about. Pokemon name box, new combo string. Those names list, that's now going to lead here. And prompt is just going to say select Pokemon, because if you don't, and we're going to look ahead later, you won't be able to select anything, which is kind of funny. Sprite view, this is to hold the sprite of Pokemon. Checkbox, you can click on it and see, oh look, it could be shiny. Same with female, it's pretty cool. Form box, combo box, that contains the forms of the Pokemon. And you got name label. Some of these I might just skip because it's just saying label that says name. This is where the Pokemon names can be held. Cry button, that will play the cry of the Pokemon. We'll get into that later because there are some problems with that. Gender ratio, label that, that's whatever. Gender ratio fill-in, puts in the data from the database and puts in the gender ratio for that Pokemon. You got types. This is where types are going to go. This holds the first type Pokemon. This one holds second if they have one. Number, and then you got the number box label. Number box combo text field where if you want, you can put in a number for the Pokemon. But that one has a little bit of a glitch too, but it's whatever. I'll show you later. Classification, this is just talking about where the classification is going to go. And the Pokemon classification, like we talked about before, that's where it's going to go. You got the height of the Pokemon. This is the title. Then you got where the height fill-in is going to be, where the Pokemon's height in meters is going to go. While this, height inches fill-in, that's where the Pokemon's height's going to be, but in feet and inches for us people in America. Then you got the weight main label. Then you got the weight fill-in. This holds the kilograms weight Pokemon. And then you got the weight in pounds here for people who live in America. Cap rate title. Then you got here, that's where the cap rates can be filled in. Days, whatever. And then I'm just going to skip some of these. Days, egg cycle, FY. This is where it's going to hold the egg steps for that Pokemon. Experience growth. This is where it's going to hold the experience growth for that Pokemon. So essentially here I'm saying that for that Pokemon. The Pokedex is based on just one Pokemon, obviously. It's going to be depending on what you select. Base happiness. That's where it's going to hold. For example, some Pokemon have 0, some Pokemon can have really high happiness values. Here, that's where the effort value is going to be earned. It's in a string, that way you can read it out instead of being in some form of an integer or double value, which would be very strange. Base EXP yield, this will show you, oh, this is how much Pokemon HP experience will give you. The higher it is, like for example, I think Blissey gives the highest out of every Pokemon. You get a ton of experience. Egg groups, this is where label is going to hold the egg group for the Pokemon, 1 or 2 if they have one. Then you got the text area for the Pokedex. This is where everything's going to store the biology, trivia, name, and origin. Because I didn't want to just put Pokedex data. I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting. So there's that. Then you got the Evo TA, the evolution text area, which will explain what the heck goes on there. And you got the Pokemon color label. This is where it stores color of Pokemon. And a label that stores the abilities. Some can hold 1. Well, actually, everyone can hold at least 1. Some can hold the most 2, at least 2. And some can hold 3, at most 3. This is where everything from above gets added into this. And then it sets the content of the Pokedex anchor to the Pokedex tab. That way, when you click on it, everything loads. Next, let's talk about abilities. We're not even halfway done, and it's how long have I been going for? And I don't want to look. So you got the abilities tab, it sets the ability anchor. Then you got the ability combo box, which just sets the Pokemon names list that we made using that while loop. And yeah, then you got the ability name, which will be filled in. The game text, which is just the description, the short ability text description. And the same goes for ability. For in-depth effect, the longer ability description I talked about before. Gets all the children. Get children, that's essentially what it's called. I'm not kidding. Get children. And then adds it to the ability anchor, which is then set to the ability tab for its contents. And then you got the moves tab. This is where all the moves are going to go. Then you got the anchor pane. Then you got the move box where it's going to show all the moves that you can choose from to learn about that move. Move name absorbs, obviously named of the move. Pokemon type, move type, depending on the move. Every move has some form of a type. There's no such thing as a type not having a move. Category, this one's a little bit iffy too. This one I have a little bit of problem with as well. It's not loading for some reason. Category pick small view and then category pick view. This one holds the sprite of a move category, while the other one, the small view, because it shows either physical, special, or status, while category pick view shows both physical and special sprites for Z moves / max moves, because some of those moves can either be one or the other, and I don't know how to really do it where it's like, oh, it's this one. It doesn't have a step 1 because it can be any move. Move power points, that's where it's going to be stored, and base powers can be held in this value move, base power fill in. Then you got the move accuracy right here. It stores the move accuracy for that move and speed priority as well. Then you got the battle effect, which is the shorter move description, which is from the games. And then you got the secondary or in-depth. It's kind of funny. I have it here. It's a secondary effect label and an in-depth description move. I changed the text areas because I think with the labels they were cut off, and I think it showed in the video that I made just recently. So it's kind of interesting. And then you got your children. This is where all the moves are going to be added to, everything above. And then all that from the move anchor is going to be set to content to the moves tab, which is pretty cool. Then you got the thing I was talking about before, the stat calculator. That's why I was saying, like, oh, I'll talk about the last part of my project. This is what I added. So it's going to be a stat alc pane, and it's got the labels for all the stats. Then you got the text fields for base HP, base defense, base attack, base speed, base special defense, and base attack. Well, you got your IVs, HP IVs, defense IVs, attack IVs, speed IVs, special defense, special attack, and then your EVs. Your HP, defense, attack, special. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Then you got total base stats. It has it so that when it's done calculated, it'll load the total. Same with IVs and EVs. And then you got your calculated HP, calculated speed, calculated attack, speed, special defense, special attack. All those are calculated and then totaled at the bottom. Then you got your labels for total, base, IVs, EVs, and stats. And then you got your combo box holding all the natures that I showed you before. Talking about the natures list. And obviously label says nature. And then level. This is where you put the level of the Pokemon between 1 and 100. You try and put anything more or less, it's not going to work. Level here, and then get stats button. When you click on it, it's got fire script. It's going to calculate everything and show you what the correct stats are. And funny thing is, last night I actually was working on it last night at like late at night because I wanted to make it a little more accurate. Because yeah, it worked, but it was using integer values, and the way stat calculation works in Pokemon, it's actually not that way. If you have let's say I get 369.5. In math, that's obviously a round up. No, here it's a round down. So later when I show you the code for the button, that's essentially what's going to happen. And then everything added from above gets added to StatCalc Anger, which gets set to the StatCalc tab's contents. Then the tab gets all the tabs, and then we set the tab pane to the main anchor pane, and then we get chosen the V-Box, the menu bar, and the anchor pane. What's just funny was, when I first loaded this, I was wondering why the hell is my menu bar at the bottom? It was in the back. That's why. And I just flipped around and it worked. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes, you like to call it. The code, the actual code, quote unquote. This is your Pokemon name box event. Event that starts when a user selects Pokemon the combo box. So first things first is it does a try. It selects a star. So what essentially does star mean? Select star from Pokemon where Pokemon name equals Hoppip. Essentially what it's doing is when you put a star there, it loads everything in that row. If let's say I put instead select Pokemon ID, instead of loading everything with the Hoppip, it just loads Pokemon ID. That's not what I want to do. That's why I put the star there. Now, this button's here because when you load up the program, it's not supposed to be there. Because if you try and click on it, it ain't going to do anything. Well, sometimes with the current status program, it ain't going to work now. Then you got type 2 pick, set image to null, because some Pokemon you select, like if the new select Pokemon doesn't have a second type. Then you got ability to fill in, set text. if some Pokemon don't have an ability, for example, Stonejourner, that little Pokemon that's based on Stone Edge, has only one ability, so these would be set to null. And at Group 2, same thing. Some Pokemon can just have one egg group, so that gets set to null. These are cleared. Everything here is cleared, and IVs and EVs are set to 0. So that makes things a lot easier. That way you're not like doing it again. I mean, you could technically leave it as is, but I don't know. It's fine as is for now. Then you got the get stats button, set visible as true. If it was set to false, you'd be trying to calculate a Pokemon that's not selected yet. And let's say you have Pokemon selected with their female and or shiny Pokemon. Yeah, this gets set to false. That way it just resets back to the beginning. And this starts everything. It goes to next, and then fires the script, and then fills everything in. Gets the first column, Pokemon ID, fills it into Pokemon ID. As essentially what it does is sets the text. Now the thing is that with some of them it can be a little difficult. Pokemon number box is interesting. Integer dot to string, because I can't just put in Pokemon ID, because when you put set text, it's trying to say, oh, I need a string. You put a number, it's gonna freak out. Watch. So let's say I want, oh, it's Pokemon ID. Do that. See, it's starting to have a heart attack. Watch. Method string is not applicable for the arguments int. So you can just do this. Spell that back. Oh, I'm happy. There you go. I'm good. I'm a happy boy. Pokemon name ID sets the ID. If you notice, it's not really doing anything yet. Give it a few minutes. Then you got. Hold on. I just want to sit up for a little bit. You got Pokemon name ID used for the obviously sprites and cries. That'll be used later. Pokemon name grabs from the Pokemon name column, fills it in, and sets that as well. Then you got image. Yep, it's like image Pokemon sprite equals new image sprite Pokemon ID. I got all the sprites here too in this as well. Let's say Aegislash. It should load Aegislash. So you click on that, boom, it should show that. And if you have this check mark, if you decide to check mark it, that's gonna load as well. So it sets the image to the sprite view. And then current index, this one I'm kind of iffy about. Anything above in the cries, I'm kind of strange about. They kind of work, but this is what it does. So current index equals Pokemon names list dot index of Pokemon name box dot get value. Essentially grabs, I guess, the number and sets it, and the current number is set to the number of it. Because the thing is, it's an array list essentially. Observable list is an array. It's sort of like an array, and it has a value. That value corresponds to the current index of the cry. And this one, these next ones, base stats all get set. I got base sets 0 to base HP, 1 base stats, then all that stuff. Then you got the image for types dot create Pokemon dot get string gif. Makes it simple. I don't want to make a whole new value for it. And then sets the image type 1 pick. There's also a check here if this part, which is type 2 column, is not equal to null, it sets it. If the Pokemon has a second type, it shows a picture. If not, this if statement is ignored. This sets the capture rate. This sets the experience, and the base EXP yield, the EV yield, the gender ratio right here, egg cycles right here. The base friendship is filled. Level up type is filled here as well. I'm just kind of flying through some of these because it's like I don't want to explain each one in depth because I kind of talked about it before the beginning, like what each one does. Egg groups here too sets the value of the first egg group to that, and same thing like types up like above. Instead of loading pictures, though, it's just loading a text. If text group 1 does not equal null, the group 2 dot set text sets the second one to whatever was in egg group 1, only if they have one. Then you got the abilities here as well. Grabs it, fills it in, but ability 2 has got to be checked first along with hidden ability the same way that types and egg groups are checked. Pokemon colors set, height is set. Now this is where things get a little more fun. So it gets the value. It's already set the Pokemon height. So first things first is I like to change it to feet and inches. So first things first is I do a double. Double inches equals Pokemon height times 39.37. This converts meters to inches. Then we're going to do double feet equals inches divided by 12. This converts the inches to feet. Math.floor. What is that? It's technically not rounding up, it's rounding down. So even if it's at 37.9, which is not possible with converting that stuff. Well, it could be, I don't know. But if it does, it'll always go down. and then it casts defeat to an inch instead, while doubles true inches is just getting the remainder of whatever it was. And it rounds down as well. Make sure that it rounds down. Inch true casts it to an inch, and then it's filled in here at the height inches fill in. Pokemon weight is the same way, but a lot less complicated. Just a couple things here and there. Oh, excuse me. Don't worry, I don't have anything, I swear. Weight fill-ins there. Then it does double pounds equals Pokemon weight times 2.205 converts kilograms to pounds. Here, I set the text, but then I do this little thing here, math.round, pounds times 10 divided by 10. Reason why is I want it set so it only has one decimal value. That's essentially what it does. And then you got Pokemon class here, puts Pokemon classification. These are all not set until the very end. Pokemon biology, trivia, origin, and name origin. Then it's all set text here. Biology, trivia, origin, and then name origin. Sets text area, all that. And then you got has female form, checks it. If it doesn't have a female form, the female checkbox is gone. But if it does, else, essentially, female check, that's not visible, it shows up. Pokemon evolution equals create Pokemon and get string. Just kind of sets whatever's in there in the text area. Has other forms. Sexy has an area. It has a other forms. If it does, great, it loads. But if it does not first, checks if it doesn't, sets it visible to not be there. Well, if it does, oh great, it loads. And catch, it just checks. I haven't really done anything. Excuse me, that was my phone. Let me move my phone for a second. Oh wait, no, I actually do need to hold on. Shoot, hold on. There we go. Sorry. And yeah, it just catches. I didn't really add anything in because I don't really think that you can really have an error here. It's very hard to. Unless there's a type in, then it would be an error, but it does not. So yeah, I just didn't allow it. This one's interesting. I added an event handler here for the checkboxes, and there's a reason why. It just makes things a lot easier for myself. That's the only reason why. Hold on. I don't know why that's bothered me for a second. If checklist is selected and female check is selected, meaning that if you want a shiny female Pokemon, it's going to load the shiny female Pokemon of female shiny. Else, if the shiny one's selected, it loads just the shiny one. If we have the female check, it just loads the female. Else, it just loads the regular sprite, no big deal. And it's set on action here. Ability combo box is the same way as Pokemon. This one's really hard to get some form of an error. It's the same way. You just select it, get the ability, all that fun stuff. It loads everything about the ability, the name, the short description, and the in-depth description. Not much to talk about there. There's not really need for an exception here, but, they have to put it in just for safekeeping, I guess. Moves box dot set on action. This is where things get a little choppy, I guess you can call it. So you select star from moves where move name equals yada yada. Gets the move name, gets the move pick. Now this is where I think computers are really fucking stupid. Let me just show you something for a second. So, oh, I don't have it in here. Hold on, let me do something first. Let's go to, yeah, it's fine. Go to, damn, where is it? I had it somewhere. Categories. There we go. Varies. Let me just shove this in here. There you go. Oh, God. I gotta do this. Watch. It's a trick I learned. Let's see. Go there. Or is it already in here? No? Alright. Do that. Let me see if this will work. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I put it in the wrong spot, didn't I? Oh, where'd he go? Oh, no. Oh, there he is. Head out, bud. You did good. Don't worry, I didn't do anything bad. If there's something bad, we'll fix it later. I might have put it in the wrong spot. Maybe that's why it's not loading, but hold on. Put this here. Bam. I guess that's why it wasn't loading. Problems copying. Okay, details. Okay, so you are there. So what the fuck? But we'll worry about that later. Whatever. So this is where it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a category here called varies. I guess it needs to reload, I guess. Is there a refresh button? Oh, yeah. Delete. Whatever. Then you got, here. There we go. And now it should load, hopefully. So if mood category does not equal null. So let me load up the moves. The reason why I put that there is that you got stuff like this. These are Z moves. They don't have a move category specifically. They do, but they really don't. It depends on what the move you use. Like, for example, if I use Razor Leaf Z move, if I use a Z move with Razor Leaf, or use a Z move with Magical Leaf, there's a problem. Yeah, they'll become Bloom Doom, but they will not have the same type category. They will be anything they want to be. So that one just varies. So if it's not null, it should load just one picture. For example, if I load Pound, it should load Physical. If I load Hydro Pump, it should load Special. If I load Growl, it should load Status. If it's not null, image category small pick equals new image categories move category, which is pretty much saying, hey, it's right here. .png sets it to that. Else, image category big pick, because if you actually, hold on, can I just go back to that one? I can't. Okay. I can just this. So if you go back to here, this is the small pick. This is the view pick. This one's a little. If you notice, the height's a little smaller because the height. Well, I'll show you. So let's say I load the smaller one. Sketch just got one, but when I put varies in, it's just that. It's two. It's like one on top of each other. And why did I do that? So let me go down back to the beginning here. So that's what it should do. What it doesn't do is that it says, nah, I can't do that. It's a legal argument. I can't do that. I'm sitting there going, bro, you're a fucking retard. I'm sorry if it sounds rude, but I'm just being honest. Now, this one's pretty interesting. I put PowerPoint equals get move. If the PowerPoint equals 0, it sets the text to // saying, oh, it doesn't have any PowerPoints. Because some moves don't have PowerPoints. For example, Z moves and max moves, because max moves can have PowerPoints depending on that move, but it doesn't have a set one. That's why it's // for those. Else it just loads it in here. Move base power, same thing. If it has none, it's just // If it does, it loads. Same with accuracy and speed parity. Here gets loaded. Same thing. Move and in-depth gets filled in. And catch. Catch doesn't have. Like I said, the same thing. The only error that I have is that weird move category thing. Moving on to the event that starts when a user inputs a number. I put this in big letters because I added this little fun thing right here. If a user puts in a number greater than 890, a Terratus's number, or less than 1, Bulbasaur's number, it shows a dialog box that says value cannot be lower than 1 or higher than 890. Else, okay, so I'm not going to go through this again. Essentially doing the exact same thing you're doing for the Dex thing. Hold on. For the create Pokemon thing. So I just kept the same query thing because it doesn't matter. It can't share names anyways. It can share names, it just doesn't matter. Because when it's within an event, it doesn't matter. And I added a catch here. It's just exception. There's no such thing. It won't happen. But I did add a number format exception. This catch happens to user enters something other than a number. So if let's say, actually, let me change that. Make sure the variable entered is a number. Forgot to change that. It just says, hey, you can't do that. Event where the user presses button to place the current Pokemon. It should. It does for like the first 50, and then everything past that says, nah, fam, I'm good. We'll explain that later. And then this is like the only part of the program that like works 100%. Actually, this is half of the program kind of done. Sets on action the get stat button. So try if the user enters a level greater than or equal to 101 or less than or equal to 0. It says level cannot be higher than 100 or lower than 1. Here it checks to see if the IVs are above or lower than their original values and says no, you can't do that. Same with EVs, no, you can't do that. Else, okay, let's go. Fills in the IVs array with all the get text. Same with the EVs, and level gets set. Logo nature. Now this one's interesting. If base stats 0, which is base HP, equals 1, the real stat will always equal 1. You're probably wondering why, and I wrote it down. This is meant for Shedinja, who is the only Pokemon with a base HP of 1. Who is only Pokemon base HP. So no matter what, you can give it 252 EVs in HP, 31 in EVs. Doesn't matter, it'll always be 1. Else, let's go. I put 2 different things for the real stats, because HP and everything else are calculated differently. If you look closely, yeah, it's a little bit different because it's a loop. It's multiplied by this, Pokemon level divided by 100. Now this one's added by a Pokemon level and plus 10, well, that's just plus 5. So it's pretty interesting. Excuse me. And then this is the for loop. I'd rather not write out every single one, so I just had a loop run through and fill it in and say, hey, here you go. Now this one I had to separate because I was having problems, and I was like, why is it not working? It's because this loop was running a million fucking times. So I decided to change it. Because I was like wondering, why the hell does Shedinja have an attack of 446 when it's adamant? It's because it was loaded in 5 times. It was adding it by 10% every single time. So here, this checks your nature. If it's this, it gives you a boost. But if it's this, it gives you a reduction. Unless you're a neutral nature. If you didn't put a nature in, or put it in docile, quirky, or serious, just ignores it and just kind of goes into the next part. Int EV total. This one goes first for a reason. Loops the EV's total, loops it, and fills the EV total with a value. If the EV total is greater than or equal to 511, which is 1 higher than 510, it says EV total cannot exceed 510. Though, it wouldn't be a big deal if I put in 508. Why? Because let's say I put in a certain value. 2 extra EVs. It doesn't matter. It's every 4 it influences your stat. Anything less or above that by like 1 or a few won't do anything. Like I said before, when we did the well, I'll explain in a little bit. Actually, I can explain right here. Well, actually, no, we'll get into that later. But yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. EV total. EV total. Print that out. Total EVs are set. Then just the base stat calculates that. Puts it in. IV total calculates that. Puts that in. Now, total stats total. Now this is interesting. I put in a new array here. This is to make sure it doesn't print any it doesn't print any decimals, because obviously those values do not have any decimals. So I had to make a new int real stats.length. Now remember what I said? Oh, it doesn't matter about those extra 2 when they do 510, because math.floor matters. Because you put those extra 2, your value will be 0.5, which would be good if it was just regular rounding or just go up, which is nice. That's not how this works. I wish that's how it worked. That'd be really fun. Math.floor real stat sets it down, and then real stat int casts the real stat I, and then total stats gets added. Rounds down the value at the array index, casts the array to an int, finds some of the total stats, and then just keeps going until it hits the end. And then it sets everything. And you're done. Yeah, that one little button does a lot of shit. Actually, how many lines does that even take? Let's figure out. Actually, I'm going to start here. About 19. Wow. Yeah, just that one little thing does a lot. That's the power of coding, I guess. And I also added a number format exception to make sure, hey, if you don't put in the word Bob, because Bob ain't going to do anything, make sure all values are numbers / filled. Activates generator has not entered value. And then, this sets the scene. That's where everything's going to be stored. Your VBox from above, where everything was all that you always put in. That's going to set the title to the main Pokédex Pro. That's going to be named it. Main stage.set scene, and then shows. This is for me. Make sure that the window cannot be resized. Main stage.set resizable equals false. And then menu item 2.set icon action just closes everything. And that's about it. I think that this should do it for now. Now, I can go into this if you want. I mean, I kind of explained it through everything else, but how about we do a test run? So let's see if it actually runs, because the thing is that I think because of how much shit is in here. Let's see. Yeah, if you look here, it says like 4%. That's a glitch, I guess, where if you have so much stuff, it's going to stay. Oh, God, don't close that. it's gonna be stuck there. So I just close it there, and then we just do this. Also, if you hear people in the ground, I am very sorry. I do not have a soundproof room, so that's my bad. Also, hello, 4 people. I see you. If you're wondering how can I see you, I got my phone open here. You can say hello. It's okay. I'm not unfriendly, I guess. But let's see. So we're gonna have to do something first. We're gonna have to do a clean. Just go here, click, and then clean. So this one's gonna take a tiny bit of time. So yeah, I guess this is a good opportunity to guess bullshit and stuff. So how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's been healthy recently. With the recent events that have been going on with the sorry, I'm looking at my phone. It's got an email or something. So here's that little conundrum. But yeah, once this is done cleaning, we'll get into it. Has anyone been quarantined? I'm just genuinely curious, like, because I've been seeing all this stuff about, like, people getting quarantined and stuff, and it's really strange. So, let me close this. Close that. Surprise. Oh, wait, someone say something on here? Not gonna lie, I'm gonna do the last stream. No one gave a shit. Oh, I can show you the one thing I'm working on, though. I have this little thingy here. This is something I learned how to do. It's called GitHub. Well, actually, I do. I know what a GitHub is. I just never really used it for programming stuff. So everything that you see here, well, almost everything. Like, for example, I don't have the current state of this up there right now, but everything here, from the cries, the sprites, the typing, little pictures, there's all here, right here. Though there's one problem. You probably download it because it's truncated, because there's so much shit in here. Yeah, everything's here, including form pictures. I'm so sorry. There's form pictures. There's the cries. Oh, I think the cries. The funny thing is, cries do work. Hold on. I'm gonna choose. No, let's try. Oh, wait, I need a. Hold on. I gotta find it. I was gonna say, let me choose cry. I want to choose my favorite cry. That I can't wait when I show this to class. If I go to school, because of this program, because of the coronavirus. But if we do, I am 100% choosing this Pokemon as Pokemon that's gonna play the cry. Are you ready? Because I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Are you ready? P. P. It's my absolute favorite. Do it again. P. Oh my god. Though what was interesting was when I had to grab the Gmax cries, I couldn't find them. Which was very strange. Like, I thought someone would upload them, but let me see. Hold on. Wrong thing. Let me go to YouTube for a second. Wrong thing for a second. Let me go to. I think I have it in my history. Damn it! Come on. Where is it? So I think I either did it today, a couple days ago. I don't know, but I had it somewhere. That's my cry thing. I did have that though. Yeah, here. Nova Prism, thank you for doing this. He uploaded all the cries. So what I did was I just grabbed them and I had to edit them because they were some of them were a little too long. But I converted them, put them on to cut them, and I added them to the project. Now I would love to show you them, but for some reason I gotta clean it every single time. Maybe because there's so much data in here that's like, oh my god, I can't do this, I can't handle this. So you know what, let me go into this too. So there are some things that are probably gonna change when it comes to the project. This whole load here, this building name ID, I might just drop that. I don't use it at all. And same with moves, I don't use that at all either. Move name ID, I don't use that either. You know what that uses their name ID is, hold on. Let me close that. I don't, it's probably asking me to say, oh, okay, it doesn't ask me to say it. No, I don't want to do that. Let's just edit the stuff here. This is what I want. This is the only one that uses any form of name ID because it's pointless to use anything with the abilities because the only thing it calls is the name, and that's fine. Same with moves, it does the same thing. So I'm, you know what? Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do that. Columns, name ID. If it gets deleted, I don't really care. But actually, can I just do this? Open that, and then put delete selected. There we go, and just apply, drop. There we go. Same with moves. I'm just gonna get rid of that right now. Hold on, because I don't need that either. Moves, column, name ID. Oh no, I gotta go through this bullshit first. There, name ID, delete selected, apply, done. There, because I don't really need any of these stuff, any of the name IDs. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Actually, because let me save the new tables. Actually, what's really cool is that, yeah, here I can just do this. I can go to this moves. Oh no, that's not moves. What's the problem? Abilities. There we go. And then you got the moves here. That's what they are. Don't want to look the wrong thing. Actually, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I can just rename them. Moves. And then Pokemon probably gonna have to edit too. At some point, this one might take a while. So, these might have to. This one I might have to just get rid of because the way I wanted to do the moves, I think I talked about it before. I really get into it. They're kind of in there already. I could show you some if I can find them. I can't remember where I put them. I think they're in here. Here. So the way I did the move, I got a couple in, but then I realized this is ridiculous, so I stopped. There we go. Yeah, these are the moves. And they were gonna be called through a loop, just fills everything in. But they were so annoying because the thing is that there's no like online database where I can look at the moves and be like, here you go, this is it. No, I gotta do it one at a time, and I want to hang myself. Look how long it took for each one. Let me show you. These are real. These are real. Fucking one whole line. And mind you, this one I saved. So one from the other took about 4 minutes. So that's a lot. Fucking that's a lot of time wasted. And there's probably big gaps here, like for example, this one I stopped at certain points because I wanted to have food. Fucking here took like a shit ton of time. Hell, just these guys, let's see how many are. 43 of them took, I'm trying to do the math, from 10:31 a.m. to 3:10. That's about 5 hours. And there's only 43 there. That's crap. That's bullshit. I'm not doing that. But besides that, like, I'm not going to bother with that. And plus, I like the other one where you can just look at the moves. I did think about putting in Smogon links just for the fun of it. That way people can learn, like, stuff like... But the thing is, here's the problem. Let's go to Smogon for a second. Let's go to Sword and Shield. This is the one problem that I have. That I had a problem with. And it still kind of pissed me off because I don't have the opportunity to talk about the Pokemon situation. That's still a problem, I think, now. This previous generation of Pokemon is not available in this generation and is only usable in non-standard National Dex formats. I don't have the opportunity to talk about this, so I might as well talk about it now. I hate this. I really do. And he's in the National Dex tier. What is this? National Dex is a unique form that strives to make gallery mechanics work with every single Pokemon, including those that have been cut from the actual. This also means that cut moves, Z moves, Mega Pokemon, Prime Pokemon, and more are illegal. Play restrictions. Feigning. Okay. I think some of them are really fucking stupid. Why make Pokemon restrictions? Fuck that. Make everything legal. Make Rayquaza legal. make this. Yo, hear me out. Hear me out. Mega Dynamax Rayquaza. You want to see broken? You're gonna get broken. Oh, and I got an even better one. Hold on, go back. Hear me out. Oh, where's Ultra Necro? No way, Necrozma. Oh, there he is. Oh wait, I forgot Necrozma is in the game, but not Ultra because the name music. I don't know why. Like you needed a fucking that kind of thing. But that's funny. I don't have any transfer Pokemon. The only ones I have technically are probably the shiny Bulbasaur that I have. Squirtle I don't have, and yet I have a Squirtle Funko Pop right in front of me. He's giving me a face saying, fuck you. That's really depressing. You're probably not going to be wondering this. My child isn't here. Also, he has National Dex. I think it'd be awesome if they brought everything over. Might as well make it fun. Because Dynamax Pokemon do they really add much? Because that's the problem I had. Like, for example, I was playing through Shield for the first time. And I went up against the Fire Gym with Dreadnought. And I didn't Dynamax, so I was set. Dynamaxing doesn't do much. Actually, you know what? I wonder if Cerebi can talk about it more. Cerebi. Let's see. Because I don't really know much that's Dynamaxing except, hey, the Pokemon get bigger. And it's like, what the fuck? So, let's see. Here. The only thing it changes is probably the moves and how big they get in their HP, which gives them a double advantage for that. Yeah, it's a brand feature that such can be used. Dynamax need to get the special Dynamax. The Rubo one cannot Dynamax Zacian and Zamazenta and Eternatus. This also accounts for Ditto when Ditto has transformed into them. I think it's fucking hilarious. Yo, I think Game Freak's gonna make a patch where we can't have legendaries Dynamax. Because here's the thing. Good example is that Mewtwo event they had where Mewtwo. I don't think I was dreaming. Mewtwo raid. Yeah, Mewtwo raids. Yeah, here. A new max raid event has begun. It didn't begin. It's over. But essentially, it was up against a level 100 Mewtwo that can one-shot you. And it sucked. It was very hard to bring down, even with people who like you. Oh, here it's done. You know it was gonna be a bitch. I went up against with 4 people at like level. I don't think these guys were level 100. That's the problem. So you need to be like set for this fucker. No one really fucky if they did put in a patch where it's like, oh, it can't be shiny. All right, time to run it. All right, so when you run it, first thing it's gonna pop out is congrats, you connected to the Pokemon database. So let me just tell you, it's going to take a while. And the reason why it's going to take a while is there's a lot of shit it's got to load in. So we're going to get right into this. So I'm actually, while I'm waiting, we're going to take note of what the glitches are. I already know a few of them. If we find more, we'll take a look at them. So one on the top of my head, cries don't load past a certain point, or don't load, and on and off, not working. You'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. Next, move category crash for some reason. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pokédex Pro. This is how everything's gonna look. Like I said, this is not the final. I think I told you this before. This is not the final UI. This should look. So you got it right here. Select Pokemon, all that stuff. Abilities, moves, stat calc. So here you can't do anything. You can't do much. You can do whatever you want. But remember how I said there's a get stat button? Can't do anything. But let's go to moves. Uh-oh. Well, we found our first problem. Let's see. Reconnect this section. Thank you. I was kind of hoping for that. If you're still here, hello. Something happened. Is it? So, I guess. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, so there's a problem here. So, nothing loads, apparently. Let me close. So, something, I guess, don't have anything on yet. Okay, so that's a little bit of a problem. But that loads, so that's a good thing, I guess. Let me clear all this shit out. So, if you're still here, hello. I don't know what the fuck just happened. And, yeah, so that button does the thing. This is Wartortle. I don't know why I chose Wartortle. I just did, because why not? I should have chose Venusaur, but we'll get back to that. So everything loads here. I think I mentioned it before. Do not expect this to be the final UI. Got the name, classification. He's a turtle. Height, a foot. He's a meter. He's 3'3". He's a weight of 200.5 kilograms, so 49 pounds in, American. Americ's experience growth here. Effort values, you get 1 defense, 1 special defense when you defeat one. He is a blue color, makes sense. 80% male when you find in the wild. 45 capture rate, meaning he's a little bit he's kind of difficult to capture. Base egg steps, 5,112, so he's not too hard to hatch. Egg groups of monster and water 1. Base happiness is 70, and base EXP yield is 142. Now I'm just curious. Yeah, something went wrong, so we'll have to look at that when we get a chance. So now, okay, so that's weird. So abilities don't work anymore. I don't know why. It should be fine. But the weird thing is, wait. How come your normal shouldn't be there? Hold on. Yeah, types are loading in the wrong spot. So I think there might be a glitch for that. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Can I just... Oh, I can close those? Yeah, I don't want to close them. But you know what? That's fine. We'll check that in a little bit. Closable. I didn't know you can even do that, but it's whatever. Whatever. It's shiny now. And the types are right here as well. Bulbous Water Turtle evolves into Blastoise starting at level 36. And here's biology. This is going to have to be changed because I didn't know that apparently it doesn't read in. You see that little value right there? Yeah, that should not be there. I don't know how it doesn't read in. It's a new line, essentially. But it's not reading the new line. So I guess I'm going to have to change that for everyone, which is bullshit. But let's try Venusaur. Venusaur is a specific person. Jesus, that was loud. So you got Venusaur here. Everything looks pretty okay. Grass and poison, that's fine. Now, this is where we talk about the buttons. Shiny. Okay. Female. Alright. Shiny female. So that works. If you notice, a little dropbox doesn't have anything yet. Not sure if it's gonna work yet. And yeah, it's off again. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened. I think nothing's working anymore. But whatever. And then you got this. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. I don't know why it's not reading it. It's a string, right? It should read in. But it's whatever. And you see that the cry is still loading in. But let's say I want to go to. You still work, right? I am so sorry. It might blow your ear ass. I'm so sorry. Let's try. I got an idea. Let's go to Growlithe. That's my sister's favorite Pokemon. That one works. And funny thing is, this little bitch wasn't shining on it. I was shining on for this guy. He wouldn't show up for a while. Let's try a Poliwrath. Let's try Abra. Watch what happens. Alright, he loads. That's fine. You see what just happened? It loaded in the picture and everything, but this cry's not loading. Let's try Abra again. Watch this. What did I write down again? Cries don't load past a certain point. And on-off not working. So it's like, maybe they'll work. See? Growlithe was working before. Now it's... Maybe it's because it only plays once? Yeah, I think I know why. It plays once. Is there a way to rewind sound? Because I'd like to play it again. Will you work? Will you work? And then... Yeah, it needs to rewind the sound. That's probably an easy button for that. You know what? You guys want to code? You guys want to... Oh, wait, we got to do one more thing. And then you get to, like, here. First of all, cool shiny. Not very cool. Let's try our favorite boy, Eternatus. Now, when I said it doesn't load past a certain point, it doesn't load past a certain point. In fact, it's not even given an error. It's just saying it's not there, which is very strange. But let's make a Eternatus set for the fun of it. And just give you a preview of what this does. So let's do Eternatus, because why not? Actually, no, I got better to do. Duraludin instead. Also, glitch here. Let you put a number here. Everything else loads except for the name picture. Let me write that down as well. Pokemon name box. Name box doesn't load if you use the number box instead. So you can just fix it by doing this. Go here, boom. But let's use Duraludin instead, because I've been using Eternatus a lot. Also, Duraludin I need to make a competitive set anyway, so I want to see what stats are gonna look like. So let's see. The only one I see is this one, so that's fine. We don't care about this, we don't care about that or the ability. We only care about the natures and the EVs. So for me, I'd look at the stats. I'm not a competitive Pokemon player, but I've seen which stat needs more of a boost. So I would choose a Timid nature. Now, if you left it as this and click calculate, it's still going to load everything, but I'd rather influence that. You know, we'll use that as a base and get an idea of how much it actually goes up. Wow, his HP is a lot too. So let's go to Timid, because I think Timid would be more beneficial for him because it'd be faster. I mean, Moss would be great, but I wanted to make him a little bit faster. So let's make his IVs. So let's give him 31 in there. We'll make it 0 for attack because he doesn't have any attacking moves. 31, 31, 31, 31. Also, if you try and touch these, you can't. These can never be touched, which is nice. And EVs, 0, 0, 0. And we get the special attack, make it 252. You can make it 6 if you want, 252. There. So everything's set, level 100. Go. See, that's why I said, let me go with a modest nature. Let's try modest. See if that changes anything much. See how strong his attack really gets. Damn. But you see how much like it goes down? I like Timid more. So, with Duraludin, and his cry doesn't load. Of course it doesn't. This is what his stats would be like. I know it's like a lot of space here, but it does what it's supposed to do. So I think this is actually a really good looking Pokemon, by the way. I never really talk about like something Pokemon designs. Shiny's not that great though. It's okay looking. And let's switch to Zacian. Yeah, everything resets. But these don't, which is fine. You can have these set. I know I should leave the IVs and EVs as they are, but reset all of these. So I might change that in the code later. So yeah, I think that's. So let's go over to glitches. Cries don't load past a certain point on off. For some reason, move category crash for some reason. That was not shown because moves weren't working. Period, which is very weird. Pokemon name box doesn't load if you use the. Oh, son of a bitch! I know why they're not working. Because, damn, they don't have their columns anymore. Son of a bitch, I'm stupid. Hold on, let's go back here. Let's close this for a second. You see, I'm so stupid. Hold on. Let's go to here, select from abilities. Oh, whoops. Stop. 1, 2, 3. See? Watch. There's no name ID. Remember where I said, oh, let's get rid of the name ID, the ability, the move name ID, ability name ID. We got rid of them, and then this part said, oh my god, where'd everything go? Nothing's loading. Starting to have a panic attack, and that's not very cash money. So we're going to fix that. So it loads the whole thing. So ability ID, this we don't really care about, but name we do, obviously. So we're going to make that 2. Short description is going to be 3. Gracias. And you are going to be 4. So now the abilities should load as they should. That was my bad. See, that's the one thing that's kind of stupid. It's like, why is this not working? That's why. Okay, so you got... Oh, why did I close? Son of a bitch. There we go. So you got the move name. ID don't matter. I keep pressing the wrong button. So, let's see. Let's go here. Move name's 3. I see why. Yep. So it's 2. So everything kind of goes down by 1. So everything's just subtracted by 1. So let's go down here. 2, 3. That's why I was like, where is everything? 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 8, and 9. So let's save that. Do I have to rebuild this thing? Oh, thank God. So, yeah, okay, so that's a little bit of a problem. You always got to make sure everything's good. Sometimes you forget, and it's okay. you know, I was kind of I think it's hilarious that it crashed and my fucking I think the internet went out for a second. I was like, oh no, my programming's too strong. Sorry, I'm just taking a water break. But yeah, going back to the national dex thing, I think it really sucks. I don't really talk about it too much because, like, I don't know. I think like the game. I have no problem with Sword and Shield, by the way. I don't hate them. I just think it sucks that it caused so much drama to the point where people were like, "Hey, fuck you," you know. But you know, I was happy he was in. This is actually my favorite Pokemon. And in fact, which set? This is the set I use. I think it's either this one or there's a National Dex one. Oh, it's so cool. I like that. But seriously, hold on. Let's go. Let's try it again. There we go. So let's learn about an ability. Let's see. I want to learn about what the heck is Screen Cleaner. Screen Cleaner. That's gonna move a little over. When a Pokemon enters a battle, the effects of Light Screen, Reflect, and Aurora Reveal are nullified for both opposing and ally Pokemon. What does that mean? On switch, when a Pokemon ends, the effects of Reflect, Light Screen, and Aurora Reveal for both the users and the opposing side. Well, let's use an ability that might be a little strange when you look at it. Blaze. Powers up Fire-type moves when the Pokemon's HP is low. What does that mean? When this Pokemon has 1/3 or less of its maximum HP, rounded down, its attacking stat is multiplied by 1.5. Okay, it was 1.5, now 1.3. While using a Fire-type attack. Now move, let's see if this works. Yeah, okay. Move category not working at all. Move category not working, period. Which is weird, it was working yesterday. Move type, move category, you got the move power points, base speed, base power, accuracy, speed. Target is physically pounded with a long tail, a foreleg, or the like. Inflicts damage. It's just essentially what it does. Then you got, I need a good example. How about a move that I had a problem explaining? Substitute. The user creates a substitute for itself using some of its HP. This substitute serves as the user's decoy. What the fuck does that mean? The user takes 1/4 of his maximum HP rounded down and it puts it into a substitute to take its place in battle. The substitute is removed once enough damage is inflicted on it or if the user switches out or faints. Baton Pass can be used to transfer the substitute to an ally, and the substitute will keep its remaining HP. Until the substitute is broken, it receives damage from all attacks made by other Pokemon and shields the user from the status effects and stage changes caused by the Pokemon. Style-based moves and Pokemon with the Infiltrator ability ignore substitutes. The user still inflicts normal damage from weather and status effects while behind the substitute. If the user breaks during a multi-hit attack, the user will take damage from any remaining hits. If a user substitute is created while the user is trapped by a binding move, the binding effect ends immediately. Fails if the user does not have enough HP remaining to create a substitute without fainting, or if it already has a substitute. Yeah, that's really easy to explain. I actually want to thank Smogan for this, because watch, that's literally, if you go here, I borrowed that entire thing, and it's all in this little thing. And if you notice here, look, base power and accuracy are here. Like I said, the UI is not going to look like this forever. And, yeah, like I was talking about, like, the, which is weird. This is why I said I don't like... Wait. What? Oh my god! Wait, what the hell just happened? Hold on, did it crash? No, what the fuck? Hold on. Did it just... Oh, what the hell? Why is psychic lowercase? Hold on, first of all. Let's go to psychic first, because that's going to bother the shit out of me if it doesn't. I don't fix that. Psychic. Where are you, buddy? This was the hardest part, by the way. There you go. Psychic. It's hard to type because I crushed my finger yesterday and it's still fucking hurting. Well, not really hurting, but it's like just there. There we go. So, but that makes no sense. Why are you there? Okay, what did I do? We'll get into that later. Maybe I'll work on some code later. And we saw Psychic later. That's the only thing that really works. Now, let's say, I want to... Oh, we haven't selected Pokemon yet. Excuse me. Let's go to my favorite Pokemon. Why not? And let's make him really buff. Let's make him a good national dex tier Pokemon. So let's see, which one would be good? I like this so it can set up Stealth Rocks, get the fire. Oh, I like the Fire Punch, that's pretty cool. Let's just go with something simple. Mega. Make him a Mega. So let's forget the moves, forget the item, ability, all that stuff. Let's focus on the nature. He is an adamant nature. That's pretty interesting. I'd probably go with Jolly, but that's fine. HP is going to get some IVs. You're going to get some IVs. You're going to get some IVs. Special attack does not matter. Does not matter. So we're going to make you 88. We're going to make you 252. And then make you 168. And you make him level 100. Why not? So let's see how good he is. Okay, that's not bad. 403 attack. That's pretty good. And, yeah. But wonder if Jolly would make things any better. Because it does give you some in there. Yeah, it does. I feel like I would probably choose like a Jolly set for a Tyranitar because I like to be faster as someone, but that's just my opinion. I don't know, man. But no movesets. Come on. Actually, while we're here, does Beware have a moveset yet? Oh, hallelujah! He finally has a moveset. Because, dude, I was trying to find a good set for him, but it never popped up. You can learn Darkest Lariat. Holy shit, that's awesome. I'm gonna go with rarely used. I want to learn about Beware more. Also, do you have a cry? Of course you don't. Okay. I'm not even gonna assume you have one. I'm just gonna assume you just don't. Now, there's a reason why I like Beware. It's because of this little guy, Pooh Bear, and your cry doesn't work. It's fair. That I gotta fix. I don't know. I don't want Null being there. Let's see what your stats are gonna be if I made this set, because it's actually really nice. I like this one. Let's give you IVs in attack. Oh, wait, no, HP. Yes. Sorry. HP. He is special defense as shit, though. Jesus Christ. He gets hit by one psychic, he's dead. Or hell, hit with a flamethrower gets a Fluffy. 2, 6. Might make things easy. 252. And let's make him Jolly. Yep. He's not bad. See, when I talk about his special defense is terrible? Jesus Christ. My God. What if I threw those EVs in there? Actually, it would go up by literally 1. Yeah, that's all it's gonna go up by 1. But yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. I got a majority of it done. So let's go over what the problems are. Cries won't load past a certain point, and on and off not working. But for some reason, Kanto works. So that makes Game Freak happy, I guess. But you know, if you want a Hitmonlee sound, you're not going to get your Hitmonlee sound. By the way, he has a cool shiny. So let's close that. Move category not working, period. So you know what? Let's look into that. Why not? So let's do this. Let's go to view. Both their views. Set image to null. That way it loads nothing. And then you got the regular category pick to null as well. Excuse me. Because I have a dry throat. No, it's not the coronavirus. Don't say that. If I do get it, I'll be fine. Ooh. So that should load non-picture. Let's see. If the move category does not equal... It's very mucusy here. If the move category does not equal null. So let's go to the move database. Yeah, perfect. Oh, it does equal something. You got physical, you got status, you got special. So all these do exist. So it takes it move image category equals new image categories / move categories. Doesn't slash to this, but move category would be. But for some reason, they're not loading. So, it's very strange. Oh. I don't know. If it's not equal null, it sets it to that. Category set image, and else it loads this instead. Boom. Just save it. Oh, I think it's already saved. That's really weird though. I don't know why it's not working. And then you got the name box doesn't load if you use a number box instead. Let's go check. Oh, wrong thing. So we're gonna try and check that out too. So we got number box try if this equals that, yada yada yada. Else, this clears all that. Oh, I think I was just getting all these zeros because you can't really do anything with them. Says create Pokemon ID, number box, updates, name, fill in, spray, index. Wait, is it really that simple? Hold on. Name, fill in. Let me try something. Name, box, set, prompt, text to Waymon name. Maybe that'll do something. Let me just write that comment in. Sets the combo box to the Pokemon's name. If this is literally fix it, I'll be really pissed. Because that's the only problem I have with this. Let me go to excuse me. Let's update it all. It doesn't need it, but I think because it's a combo box, it sets it anyways. So I'm not too sure. I don't think it's going to do anything. I'll try it. And this one, move category, that one, I don't know what to do with. And then you got the cries won't load, don't load past a certain point, and on and off not working. That one I don't understand because I showed that they do. Maybe it's like a limit or something. Though it's weird because the limit of array is like was like between 0 and 2 to the power 32 minus 1. I think that's what it is. Or it's 2 to the power of 31. Well, let me just close all this. Just get an idea. We could work on other Mo forms if you want, because it's just very strange. But that one I gotta figure out how the hell these are gonna load, because I need a specific list for them too. But yeah, let's go back to the cries. Let's see. This calls makes it, sets it to that. Should be fine. Pokemon cries. Select Pokemon ID, order by that. While cries.next, Pokemon ID equals cries.getString. That's fine. That one does not change, so that's okay. Current index sets it to whatever it is there, and then fills the array slot with the cry of that Pokemon ID and current. But you know what? That one should be fine. Rewind a sound. Java FX. So we got the progress or volume control. I kind of want it to reset because I think the reason why it should play again. Oh, they're like adding listeners and shit here. Hold on. Their play sound. By rewinding. Let me try. I think Oh wait, is this really how it is? Well, hold on. What's clip? Oh wait, let me try that. We're gonna have to go all the way to the end for cries. There it is. Cry player current index dot set there's nothing that let's see anything. Audio and spectrum levels balance current rate cycle rate dispose equals error. I'm not gonna get rid of stuff. Get balance, get class. Why did you do that? I hate when that happens. Maybe that'll do something. I don't know. So, wait. Maybe that'll do something. Maybe that'll fix it. Well, it loads because maybe like it's trying to get something and it's not like loading. So maybe if I put like a get media, it'll like do something. I don't know. That's weird. There's no set frame position. I think it's. Oh wait, I think that's more for a video, right? I was using swing. That's a problem too. For Java effects, that's the problem I have. Here we go. But what does it use? Okay, let's use Java effects. How old is this? It's not that old. Need a sound audio thing, or is it just video? Because that's the case, I can probably fix it. I swear to God, if that little line works, I'm gonna kill someone. Okay, so it doesn't. I gotta play the sound again. It doesn't play the sound again. That's the problem. I don't get it. That's so like. The thing is like a play sound button. Play sound button. Java effects. Yeah, because it's like. Sorry. Like. Wait. What's an audio clip? Java effects audio clip. What's this? Audio clip. Audio clips represents a segment of audio that can be played with minimal latency. Clips are loaded similarly to media objects but have different behavior. For example, media cannot play itself. Audio clips are also usable immediately. Playback behavior is fire and forget. Once one of us is called stop. Then I accomplish tasks using media. One would have to create a new media player object for. Wait. So I don't even. Wait a minute. We're gonna try something. You ready? I'm gonna try something fun. We're gonna make a new cry button. Because I never heard of set on action audio clip Pokemon cry equals new audio clip cries slash Pokemon name ID MP. I get this wrong. I'm not gonna be upset. I just want to try things out. It's probably it needs to call it. I'll admit I never heard of this. Pokemon Cry dot play. Wonder what methods come out of it. Let me see. Dot. Shit. Wow. Let's see if that does anything different. Because there's no errors being thrown, so let's see what happens. If it crashes, I'm not going to be mad. I just want to see what happens, you know? Because then I could just get rid of the cry player, essentially, because that'll save a lot of space. But if this works, I'm going to literally be so happy. Because I've with audio and stuff in my class, we never really went over this stuff. We kind of just he said, okay, here's what it looks like, and I'm like, it was kind of strange. But yeah, I never really heard of some of these. Like I said, if they work, that's great. If they don't, I'm not going to be pissed. I'm just going to see if they work, because they do work. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. But that's just me. If it does work, I got a whole chunk of code to take out then. So that's really cool. But we know it works. That's the thing. Okay, so it doesn't work. Does it? Ah, we got a problem. Uh-oh. Let's see. No, huh? URI desking equals null. URI equals cries.bulbasaur.mp3. Well, what if I do this instead? What if I do that? Maybe add that in as well? See if that does anything different? Because it's trying to call something and it doesn't know where it is. Maybe that's why. If that's the case, then that just changes everything. I'll be very impressed. Maybe that'll do something. I think the one thing kind of stinks, and no offense to anyone here. Rate of I'm just curious reading about this. Get source is playing. I'm surprised there's no rewind feature. Yeah, for the thing. Maybe that's why. I swear to God, this actually loads everything. I'll be very impressed. I'll be so happy. But I'm also really happy that this is like all this stuff up here as well. The entire project up here. And this is for everyone. If you guys want to check this stuff out, I'm more than happy to. You can look at it. Uh-oh. Crashed again. I don't know what to do. What is audio? Let me go back here. Play a sound. An audio clip example. Here you go. Audio clip. It's weird. It says it doesn't exist. But there is a problem. For Charizard, we heard that it does exist. That's right here. And oh my god, what the fuck? Well, that was enough. That was enough. URI.getStream equals null. URI equals. Do I have to put it around something? Put like brackets around it, maybe? Maybe 2. I don't think it's gonna do anything, but we'll see. At this point, I'm just kind of saying I'm giving up. So, if this works, like just doing that, I'm gonna be very, very interested. Or wait, does it have to be a new file? Maybe that's why, like a new file, whatever it is, and then see if it loads. Because maybe it's trying to call something that doesn't exist, and that's why it's going like, hey, this should not be here, you know? But yeah, I mean, if I somehow get this to work before lunchtime, I'm gonna literally, like, be so fucking happy. Because this is, like, the big thing I wanted to get done. Because after the cries are done, I get them to 1, along with these other little glitches. Then I want to get the forms to work. And then I want to get the login system in. And then that's it. This program's done. Then I might release this. But I don't know how to access my database other than just using the cloud. I'm already assuming this is going to break everything and cause the internet to go out again. So, let's go with Ivysaur. Yep. All right. I just saw it in the background. Yeah, so we're going to change something. I'm going to add a new file. New file. And we're gonna cheat a little bit. Okay, you ready? So we're gonna go to I'm gonna grab this whole thing right there. Go down here and Kukamanga. Oh wait, let's do this instead. New audio clip. There we go. So hopefully this does something. I don't know what it will do, but here's the extract pack name. So go. I think I need to like. The one thing it kind of stinks is that like the only resource that had these cries on hand that were pretty simple was like I think Pokemon Showdown. But other than that, it didn't really do much. If this crashes, I'm not gonna be upset. I'm just gonna like not worry about it because it would be nice. I wonder if I could put these in arrays because that'd be really nice. You know, if it's like because I'm trying to figure out why the heck is some of this stuff not loading. And I'm sitting here, I'm just trying to figure that shit out, you know? Oh, is this the old one? I'll delete the old one. Let me get the new one going. Then that just loads everyone. I don't think that's gonna happen, but that'd be really nice. I'm trying to figure like what the problem could potentially be. I got my wind turbine going because my computer's having a heart attack. Let's go with Venusaur. Okay, so your cry won't even load, but there's no error, so something's going on. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do this. Get rid of you. Let's put you back. We tried. All right, we tried our best. And we didn't get much, so whatever. I think I gotta cut it here because there's like I'm just this is more of a thing of like, hey, this is what's going on now. So I'll close this because this ain't gonna do shit anymore. So we got big problems right here. Cries don't load past a certain point and on and off not working. I guess it needs the audio. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, so it kind of loaded there. What the fuck was that? Okay, so we're gonna close that just to shut you up. So cries won't load past a certain point, and on and off not working. Maybe something where it has to be some form of playback thing. I guess I don't know. Move category not working. Period. Oh, we got to check. Yeah, fuck it. We'll check that later. Move. Oh, we got to check that too. God damn it, motherfucker. Hold on. I gotta do this all the time. Oh, never mind. Oh, now it closed. How convenient. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Try this again. So I gotta fire this little fucker again. The good thing is crowds will load. Oh, for fuck's sake. I gotta redo that shit? Oh my god. You know what? I think we're done. I think I'm done for Deadeye for now with this little project. Because, dude, this is... And one thing that sucks is that, like, what was funny was I was trying to get help for this project and no one got me any help. And the one thing that sucks is that I wanted to go to my school to ask for help. I can't because of the fucking coronavirus. So there's that little conundrum. But I think that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching. For now. Hopefully in a week I'll have more shit up because currently I do not have a lot to work with. All right, until next time, I will see you guys later.